No one in Blackwood ever imagined a scream could vanish so quickly, swallowed by wind, rock, and silence. But on that cold morning, a single cry was pushed off a cliff, meant to die forever. The wealthy young man arrived just after sunrise. Polished shoes crunching against gravel, his designer suit untouched by dust or gilt. He wheeled his mother slowly toward the edge of Blackwood Cliff, where jagged rocks plunged into a roaring river far below. She was fragile, now gray hair, thin as mist, shoulders wrapped in a shawl too light for the chill. Her hands trembled on the wheelchair arms, sensing danger before her mind could name it. He leaned close, smiling softly, whispering words only she could hear. Then, without hesitation, he shoved, "I share new stories here every day, and I would really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and liked my video." Now, let's jump back into my story. I sure you love it. If you keep listening till the end, write in the comments and tell me which part of the world you're watching this story from. I'm really interested to see how far this story has traveled. The wheelchair rolled forward. Her scream ripped through the air raw, desperate, before the wind tore it away. Below, the cliff swallowed everything. The young man straightened his jacket, exhaled slowly, and pulled out his phone as if closing a finished task. No witnesses, no proof. No consequences. He was wrong. High on the ridge above, a German shepherd named Rex had seen everything. Rex wasn't just a dog. He was her shadow, her guardian, the quiet presence that never left her side. The moment the wheelchair tipped, Rex's ears flattened and his body coiled tight with instinct. He didn't bark. He didn't hesitate. He launched himself down the rocky slope like a storm unleashed. The sun turned just in time to see 100 pounds of muscle and fury collide with him. Rex slammed into his chest, knocking the breath from his lungs and driving him flat onto the ground. The phone skidded away. Rex pinned him there, teeth bared inches from his throat, growl vibrating like thunder deep in his chest. The man froze, terror cracking through his calm mask as he realized this dog knew. Rex didn't bite. He didn't need to. With one last warning growl, Rex spun and sprinted toward the cliff's edge. He barked loud, sharp, relentless. Not a warning. A call below. The impossible had happened. The wheelchair hadn't fallen all the way. It had caught on a dead tree wedged into the cliffside. The old woman was alive, shaking, clinging to branches with bleeding hands as the river roared beneath her. Every second, her strength faded. Every second mattered. Rex planted himself at the edge, barking again and again, refusing to stop. His voice carried across the valley, echoing against stone, daring the world to listen, and somewhere far across the trail, someone finally did. The witness, no one expecte, two hikers on the opposite ridge paused mid-step. The sound reached them sharp, desperate, unnatural for the quiet valley. They followed it to the edge and froze. Below them, tangled in a dead tree, hung a wheelchair, and in it, a woman barely holding on to life. They didn't think. They called for help. Rescue teams arrived within minutes, ropes cutting through the air as trained hands descended the cliff face. Rex never moved. He stood rigid at the edge, eyes locked on the woman below, barking until his throat strained. It was only when the rescuers secured her harness and began pulling her upward that his barking softened into trembling whines. When she reached solid ground, she collapsed, tears soaking her face as she whispered one word over and over: "Rex, Rex." Behind her, the truth unraveled. The hikers had heard everything: to scream, the shove, the silence that followed. They'd seen the sun near the edge, had watched Rex attack him, had watched him panic. When police arrived, the man had no story that could save him. No excuse clean enough to erase what witnesses and a dog had revealed. As officers led him away, Rex finally relaxed. He padded over to the woman and pressed his head into her chest. She buried her face into his fur, sobbing with relief, her frail arms wrapping around the one soul who had never failed her. Rex exhaled a deep, shuddering breath, as if he'd been holding it inside from the moment the wheelchair tipped. Justice didn't come from cameras or confessions that day. It came from loyalty, from instinct, from a dog who refused to look away. Sometimes heroes don't wear badges. Sometimes they don't speak. Sometimes they walk on four legs and save lives simply by loving fiercely. And Blackwood Cliff would never forget the day. A silent witness spoke the loudest of all.